Hello and welcome to Wrestling in Mom's Basement. This is going to be our Q&A for the week of October 4th. I, of course, am Patrick Young. This guy to my right is my co-host, Joe Bonito.
This is our Q&A for our 12th Q&A, because it follows along the nitros. This week we got questions on AJ Styles, Matt Hardy, Royal Rumbles, Del Rio, which Isaiah likes to ask us about, and Shawn Michaels. But we'll get things off with Cody Rhodes. Do you think Cody Rhodes' post-stage success is way more than ever expected for him?
I would actually say it's pretty hard to say you actually expected his success right now for anybody. Say, even as weird as it may sound, or as off as it may sound, I don't think Roman Reigns would have been as successful as Cody is currently. He's one of the three leaders of the All-In pay-per-view. He along with Billy Corgan and Magnus brought back the NWA title, at least to prominence. He's killing it with the Bullet Club and being the elite. I think it's hard pressed to say that you aren't, at least you definitely didn't expect this.
First of all, for those of you who don't know me, you gotta know, or for some people gotta remember, I was on the Cody bandwagon back when he was dashing.
Yeah.
Or maybe even before then. So
actually, probably was before then.
Yeah, so I told everybody that will listen that the sky was the limit for the youngest son to common name. He certainly has ups and downs while in WWE, but much like his father.
Actually, do you want to know a funny thing, too? I actually listened to this Bruce Pritchard's podcast. I'm trying to remember which episode. I can't come to mind now. But he said that he was sitting in Gorilla backstage with Vince during the Hall of Fame for Dusty.
Right.
And Cody cut the promo, and him and Vince looked at each other and said, there's a star right there.
Told you. They always say I was practically Vince's fourth child.
Yeah.
They always say I was... So
that's probably why he was soon called up after that.
They always say I was supposed to be the bastard son, not Hornswoggle. If I was old enough to perform at that time, that would have been me.
Well, they treated Hornswoggle like a kid anyway.
So. He has ups and downs in WWE, but much like his father, Cody's at his best when the shackles are off, and he's in control of his destiny. He has a mind for the business. He knows what people want to see, and he knows how to position himself in the right places to give them what they want. He also knows how to recognize the trend and how to attach himself to it, like he did with the Bullet Club. A stable that probably should have outlived its usefulness by now, but remains viable in multiple countries, largely due to Cody. I know a lot of indie fans bashed Cody earlier on because he didn't deliver the 5 snowflake matches. There was a time when indie wrestling was based around who had the best matches, and character was a secondary thing. Nowadays, the big stars on the indies are guys with identifiable characters.
Yeah.
That know how to promote themselves. The indies are a little bit more WWE than they think.
Yeah.
Just to go off on a little side tangent here, guys like Joey Ryan, Joey Janela are drills because of the unique things their characters bring to the table. Cody, Young Bucks, and their friend and enemies, on being elite, are over largely because they've developed interesting personas. Take a guy like Flip Gordon, he flips a lot, which is cool, but he's gotten to show some character with Cody and Brandy Rose.
Yeah.
And that's been a great thing for his career. I expected Cody to be successful. Titles in New Japan or at least NWA don't come as a surprise to me in terms of his title accomplishments. I guess I might not have expected it was his ability to make everybody else successful, too.
Yeah.
Around.
He definitely created a business in the indies.
I tell you, Isaiah has some weird pains as a week. Huh?
Yeah.
With his next question?
Yes.
Last week was Andrade. This one was it's AJ. What was the last week? He fought Andrade. Been disappointed so far. Because they're going slow with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. AJ. Do you think AJ Styles' title run hasn't been what you would hope it would be? It has been his second run.
This one I kind of get a little bit more than
the Andrade
one. Where I did say I could see where you wouldn't expect, where it's not exactly what you wanted because Andrade was so successful. This one is more or less because AJ being the WWE champion is honestly just out of left field for long-time fans. And where the early matches may not have done much with Nakamura.
Right.
which I didn't want more out of the feud.
When they said that, though, Nakamura
actually blamed himself.
Yeah, I was going to say it was on Bust Open last Wednesday promoting the game, and he said that he blames himself for that because he still hasn't been used to the WWE style.
Yeah.
And then when Bully Ray David Greco asked him who does he want to face on SmackDown, he said, "Who does he want to face on SmackDown?" I hasn't fought yet. He said, Jeff Hardy or AJ or Randy Orton, guys he hasn't fought yet. I guess guys that he hasn't gotten used to their style yet in WWE for is why he meant, but yeah, he does blame himself for that.
Yeah. But honestly, AJ had taken him off of SmackDown. SmackDown, I think, was a completely different show.
Oh, definitely.
That's sort of lost in the ether, essentially. So, AJ's the turnaround I did want for him. From long back seeing him in TNA, and even now, because SmackDown will probably be in the hands of Jinder still.
Is that what you want?
No.
It's not what I expected, to be honest. I'm surprised by how long his lasted in the second ring.
Yeah, it's true.
As I picked against him in our predictions quite a few times. Mm-hmm. But that's part of AJ's charm. Makes us think that Shinsuke Nakamura or Samoa Joe can be mankind. Yeah, some matches never come to Oz and pull out the win. I think the lack of excitement some feel can be chalked up to the lack of variety in opponents. AJ just moved against the same guys over and over again. To the point where some people were hoping for his future. I know right that's not AJ's fault. To the best of my knowledge, he is on the SmackDown creating. The main reason I'm saying no to this, though, is because I wasn't expecting much in terms of booking our storylines. AJ's good matches, and that's what I expect out of the title run, so I'm not going to complain about it. Number 3, with his in-ring career likely over, using Matt Hardy to create Broken Universe content for WWE Network is a good plan.
I actually agree with that statement. You have Matt, and the crowd is still interested in the broken character.
Yeah.
If you're not going to have him in the ring, I've heard of worse ideas than putting him on the WWE Network with that character. In House Hardy, with Brother Nero, with wife Rebecca, Lord Wolfgang, or King Maxwell. Yeah, you can put them on the content. But I think another pretty good use of Matt, I may have mentioned this in a video earlier, or mentioned in private, with us at least, that I think he would actually have a good spot, or he'd be a good instructor at the Performance Center with helping guys come up with characters like that.
Yeah. Hey, if you're going to keep him on the payroll, why not? The current rumors are that he's filming some kind of Halloween special, which makes sense for his character.
Yeah.
I don't know why the network is used more often for stuff like this. The Broken Universe was in acquired taste. But some of that can draw some eyeballs and be on the network for a while. It'll either be awesome or awesomely terrible. Depending on WWE gets involved with it. On the last part. 4, early prediction here, but do you think the winner of the 2019 Men's Royal Rumble will be someone who has never won it before?
I think it should. Just because it recently, over the last 5 years or so, or maybe even farther back than that, we've gotten a hell of a lot of guys that have won it more than one time. I think they need to essentially just cut that out and just have it with first-time winners getting a new shot, which could actually help you follow their story more than just, say, like following Randy Orton to the road to WrestleMania because he won another Royal Rumble. That largely may be the reason why his storyline was good, but it was still just like, oh, he's getting this shot. He didn't necessarily need to win the Royal Rumble.
Right.
It was just hard. It was just harder to get into that way. So I think it should be, yes.
Yeah, it's one of those process elimination things. Nakamura isn't going to repeat as Rumble.
No.
Randy Orton has the best shot of all the repeaters right now because of his character, but I don't think he'll win it again.
No.
I do think he has the best shot I'm going to mention. Triple H will have a part-time deal set up for WrestleMania and won't need to win a Rumble. Roman Reigns will probably be on the Universal Championship match because they need to fill Chase Field for that. Batista had to come back for SmackDown 1000, but it's too soon to say he'll be back for the Rumble. Mm-hmm. John Cena has other things to do. Sheamus actually won one of these. That's not Wikipedia was for. Undertaker doesn't need to waste his time with this or wrestling in general. Rey Mysterio will be a surprise, but I doubt it. Everybody else is either semi or fully blown retired, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
My current prediction is that Daniel Bryan finally wins it. After years of people want him to. And just I don't think he beats AJ Crown Jewel. And I think AJ loses to Miz here. And just the Miz at WrestleMania. Since a ton of people predicted it probably won't happen. Either way, I see new winner emerge in 2019.
Yeah, I think my pick for the Rumble this year so far will probably either be Bryan or Dean.
Oh yeah, Christian Dean, yeah.
Yeah.
5. With Alberto Del Rio returned to MMA and non-national wrestling promotion, this is good news for pro wrestlers.
Yeah, essentially. This was sort of Alberto Del. We had a question similar to this weeks ago, where it was like, do you think it's good that
no major promotion?
Yeah, the major promotion has signed Alberto.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's almost the same answer. Essentially, he created problems in the locker room practically wherever he went.
Right.
I believe he left Lucha Underground.
You're right.
Under weird circumstances. I know
he left Triple H with their championship when he went back to WWE.
When he went back to WWE. The first time he left WWE, I think he was unhappy. Then he came back, and then was unhappy again and created a whole bunch of stuff with Paige.
Right. Impact last year, he had an incident.
Yeah. I actually forgot he was in Impact.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like everywhere he seems to go, chaos seems to follow. And honestly, I can show you visual proof. Look at pictures of Paige at the time she's going out with Alberto Del Rio, like later in the relationship, like right around the time she proposed to him. Look at her then, and look at a picture of her currently now. Her eyes are so much full of life. She actually seems genuinely happy. In her circumstance, even though she's retired, she seems to actually enjoy life now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, essentially in MMA, you're gonna, if he starts doing that stuff, you're gonna find a whole bunch of people that want to beat him up.
Yeah.
So it'll effectively be a win-win. He'll get paid for almost getting beat up, which I actually do believe he has MMA experience.
Yeah.
Before he entered wrestling. And people are just going to line up to try to beat him up.
Last I heard from Alberto, he was whining and moaning about Paige again for some reason recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something about, because she had to just move on with her life after split from him.
How dare she go on with her life and try to be happy?
I don't really know or care. There was a time where I would like to see him back in the ring, but enough times Paige, I realize he is a really miss.
Yeah.
If MMA fans are clamoring for a return of Dos Cross Jr., that's his real name, they can't follow with it. Alberto has no relevance to any wrestling scene today, so I just wonder if the shows the promoters that he's fighting with know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
And number 6, what is your level of excitement for someone who's in-ring return? Now.
When I see this question from your text yesterday morning, I sort of took a thought about it, and was just thinking about Shawn Michaels himself. I'm still excited to see Shawn Michaels return, but at this moment, I'm not excited in who his opponents are going to be. So I am happy to see Shawn Michaels back, but I want a better opponent for him. Mm-hmm. I want at least more of a full-time opponent. I know you sort of have to get past Taker retiring him or whatever, but I'm not exactly excited to see it, essentially. But if you get past it and you give him like AJ, Bryan, Seth, Dolph, pretty much anybody a part of the full-time roster, I think it'll be a much better match, and that I am actually excited to see Shawn Michaels performing.
Yeah. I want to give it a 2 out of 10 for different reasons than you think. Giving it won't be too mean. I'm sure Shawn will be ready to go in the ring and perform at a level that won't leave a tarnish on his legacy. Some people. He'll be working in front of crowds that pop for nostalgia more than anything else, so the atmosphere should be good. The reason I'm not really interested is that he's wrestled with people we've seen him in the ring with over and over again. Some people say that's the charm, but I'd rather see him wrestle new people. at this point.
Yeah.
Something I haven't seen a billion times before. If Shawn Michaels is gonna come back, I'd like to see something fun. If it's for Saudi Arabian funded nostalgia, like, count me out. I
Saudi Arabia.
I find a name for that show every week.
Yep.
If it's for Saudi Arabian funded nostalgia,
Yeah.
well, the show's funded by Saudi Arabia, by the government.
It is.
So what they want, they get. If they want Warner versus Yoko again.
Also notice the stage between Saudi Arabia and Australia.
Yeah.
WWE had to pay for Australia set up. They didn't have to pay for Saudi Arabia.
Right, no.
So, in order to save money, you got the stage that you got, which was a nice stage, but kind of almost similar to the one they have in their house shows.
Right. But when you have $50 million, when you're doing $50 million, you can do more of it.
Yeah.
Well, I know. I had nothing against the Saudi Arabian shows. It's just it's a very funny joke that WWE's actually ran by them. Not the all the way around for these shows.
Except in that sweet Saudi money.
Yeah, that's so nice of a joke. I'll find no one for a Friday or Sunday's review of Raw. I'm pretty sure we're going to get something set up for Crown Jewel involving him tonight. So I'll have a new name for the pay-per-view.
There's an easy joke there about nuts, too, with Crown Jewel.
Yeah. Yeah, how did that nuts pay-per-view happen 5 days after the vagina pay-per-view?
Yeah.
I wonder if the woman will get paid for that, so.
Yes.
Because that'd be after. I have a vagina. Yeah, I don't know, I do like Saudi Arabia funded nostalgia window. I think that's what I'm calling it now.
Yeah.
For this week. But that's over this. I will be back Sunday or early Monday morning with the Q&A review. Not Q&A review. With the Q&A, also our the pay-per-view that we just picked, and the other two reviews also. On Session 1997, SummerSlam 96, and Survivor Series 1997. So we'll see you then.
See you then.